My name is Nicole Barton, and I am the creator of His Story. I started this project because I've been shooting professionally for about 18 years, and a large part of that career exists around creating independent magazines, short film, photography exhibits, anthologies around women and their stories. And over time, I've had increasingly more men approach me and say, I'd really like to tell my story too. I've had women say, I'd like to bring my husband in. I would love for him to have something like this. And so I thought that something that would be a really beautiful legacy piece for a man to have, for his family to have, for himself, is something celebratory of all the things that you've accomplished, as a legacy piece that you could leave behind for your children, something you could be proud of that just really illustrates your narrative, that makes you feel good about all the things that you've done, in the direction that you're heading in. And so, this photo shoot is really about pulling out all the things that are important to you. It's about creating a visual representation of what you stand for. And what I'm known for in my work is creating work that is really reflective of the person being photographed. So the aesthetic is going to match who you are and what you're all about. And so when we get on a phone to plan your shoot, we're going to talk about like the things you're into, your hobbies. Maybe you want to be photographed with your car because you're proud of it. Maybe you are a business owner or creative and you want to be photographed in your place of business or with some of your work. Maybe it's your favorite cigar lounge. Maybe you're a sports fanatic and you want to do like a really cool ESPN style shoot with your gear. Maybe you are super fit and you want to do something in the gym, that looks like kind of like an ESPN shot. Maybe we're going GQ and you're getting fly because your style's really good. But the idea is to create a theme and a shot list for your photo shoot that tells your story, because at the end of this, we're going to create a beautiful anthology coffee table book, that represents you, and there's different packages available with different amounts of images. The album sizes vary. What's in there varies. You can get an album that has a little timeline of your life. It may include some words of wisdom from you. It may include some pictures from your life, from the milestones as you've gone along. And I think this project is for the man who maybe wants to celebrate an accomplishment and all that he's done. Maybe a man who's retiring now. He's walking away from what he's built and starting a new chapter. New dads, new husbands. Maybe you've hit a milestone birthday and you feel like, this is the time to tell my story and put something on and feel really good and create something. So it's a creative process. It's a fun process. Men leave my studio and they go, oh, this was the best photo shoot experience I've ever had. Or they say this was painless, which is also a compliment, I think, sometimes coming from men. Oh, it wasn't so bad at all, and a lot of times when the men have come into my studio with their wives or for headshots or something else, they have an idea in mind of what it's going to be like when they come in, and it ends up being totally different. And they really enjoy the experience. They like being here. They like being photographed. They enjoy my studio. And so I just think for a father who wants a beautiful, tangible something for their kids to have, at some point to look at, when you think about like these beautiful photo, autobiographies of people with photographs of them and their lives and little bits of information, I just think having something like that for ourselves of our story, it's really special, it almost feels celebrity. It's an heirloom thing. It's a legacy thing, right? And so that's really what this project is about. That's what we're trying to express. So it starts with booking in the photo shoot. The photo shoot is $300. That includes some male grooming, some skin work if you'd like with my team here. And then you and I are going to shoot for about an hour or so. You'll book in for the shoot, and then that's going to lead you to a calendar link to get on the phone with me, and that's where we're going to plan your shoot out. We're going to talk about wardrobe, styling, what you'd want to be photographed with, what you want to include, how it's going to look, and then you'll come on in and shoot, and we'll shoot for about an hour. We put music on, we have a good time. It's really a lot of fun. Check out the videos on this page. You can get kind of a vibe of what it's like here in the studio. And then about a week after your shoot, you and I are going to get on a Zoom video call, and that's where you're going to choose the package that you'd like, the images that you love, which digitals you want, what's going in your album, and there are various packages to choose from, and we'll do all of that on that Zoom. And then your book will be delivered to you, your story, his story, for you to have. So that's the process. That's how it all works. The first step is to check out for the session fee and get on a phone call with me so we can plan your shoot.